Let's get started. I was telling Ernest I'm still catching up from ETH Denver, which was a lot of fun, but also like I did conference too hard. I kind of hung out with friends and talked about crypto and um, did the things that I needed to do to keep myself in the game, because there's the mental aspect of this one for sure. But I think for the agenda today is, one, want to talk about TL Bank and make sure you had everything you needed, Sprinkles. And then two, move into the season pass, and then just talk about process briefly. And I think that we can start getting this ball rolling. Sound good, you two?
Yeah. Quick question, Ice. I'm on the notes with you, and so the last couple of weeks, or maybe not the last couple of weeks, the last couple of meetings, I've noticed that is there extra tokenomics note in there, call notes? So like there's one from 2 days ago, but we didn't have a tokenomics meeting 2 days ago.
Oh, that's so the leadership sync?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me and Bear we're jamming, and I like to keep that public so let people know what's going on. I don't take the best notes, but that's roughly what we talked about.
I haven't even looked at them. I just looked at the date and I was like, are these dates just off? I didn't know if like the dates were off. It was all. Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Because we end up discussing a lot, and so instead of writing, I'm talking or debating or writing in another document. But yeah, so I got you the high level specifications for oh nice, good job. The TL Bank roadmap.
Yep. So my only question here is like contributors. Are there like specific contributors that
I would leave that up to you. Yeah, I'd leave that up to you, actually. Like you're the PM on it. I think that the only thing that I care about is just like Perchy's art. Mm-hmm. I'll probably have some opinion. Like everybody will probably have some opinion on the website design, but I think the only specification requirement there is just that there's 2 toggles, 6 months and a year, which may change, by the way, because the season pass, speed dip, and all that. Okay. That should change.
So for devs, Mantis Clone, you mentioned him. Is that?
Yeah. So if he's the lead on the website, and so if you come to him with, hey, could you build this? He'll take it from there. Like he'll PM the rest of that, and so you can just reference him as like the lead dev.
Perfect. That was my question. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you need? Like, so I moved the give PM list of deliverables. I wrote it out. That tlbank.bankless.community. Just needs to be consistent with Bankless community website. The TL Bank smart contract details. And honestly, I think the only specification there is that the minting address, like we need to make sure that the minting address receives L1 access. So that means that they either need to add a field, and that stores the original minting address. And then we need to make sure in collab land that we can gate for that. So that one point may be worth us having an additional meeting on with them.
Could you repeat that one point for me, please, so I make sure I get it down?
Yep. So 95% of the smart contract with Hedgie is good in default state. That we need to be able to, like, the end result is that only the minting address receives L1 access. And so how we do that technologically is we have some options, like on collab land, and with what they mint. And so they may have some metadata that gets updated. Like if the NFT is transferred, maybe it toggles off a metadata component. I'm not sure if they can do that. That's like there's some different standards and stuff out there that they can play with things like that. Or, they could um have like minting address equals this, and then on Collabland we would need to say holding address equals minting address. If yes, level 1. You with me? Does that make sense?
It does.
And so
we can do this in the Hedgie contract.
Yeah, they said they can do things like that. I think that what's probably may need to happen is we may need to have a meeting with like I Speak Nerd and Hedgie, I Speak Nerd of Collabland and Hedgie, and just go like, hey guys, here's what we want to do. Is this possible? And Nerd said yes. Hedgie said yes. I know that sometimes in technical implementation, that's one point that I could foresee, us having to go back and be like, oh, actually, we're going to need it like this, and they're going to have to remint a different contract. And ideally, we catch all that challenge up front rather than find out the hard way after we've minted it doesn't work. And also, we're going to need to do testing and play with it and stuff like that too. So.
Yeah. So should we have set up that meeting sooner rather than later?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, if you want to go ahead and ask them for a meeting, and I'll.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna bring Nerd into a circle with you. There we go.
So last meets are often difficult for people. Like meetings are often difficult. Do you want to give your availability first? And
sure, I sure will.
You can go from there.
That sounds great.
Okay.
I'm just connecting you with Nerd real quick. I think in terms of next steps, we're looking pretty good.
So the risk analysis, Ernest, would you be willing to take that up?
For what? A risk analysis?
For Hedgie, yep.
No.
Okay.
But I would say I think that the smart contract stuff satisfies the risk analysis.
Okay. And they do have a lot of stuff in their GitHub. I just wanted to make sure that I covered that.
Yeah, I mean it's I think what we can just do is people should ask, hopefully, and we can reference the audits. The biggest thing is that an audit doesn't know what it doesn't know, but Hedgie has hundreds of thousands of dollars of funds behind some of their smart contracts. So
okay, so I'll just try to gather together a list of all the audits and everything from their GitHub.
Yeah, I think that'll check the box.
Okay.
And so I think only other items would be we need to go to design and ask them for design, and just go, hey guys, like how much bank would you need to get us a design for TL Bank that gives you the spec. It's basically, it should just be a very short web page.
Yeah, so I'm I'm thinking that somebody probably has a design or specifics from previous ones. I'm wondering who did the previous
just
one design.
I just pop into Design Guild and just lay out the specs you need. And you know, like just basically say, hey, you know, we need like a really short website. But yeah, you could ask Hedgie too, but I think we need to rebrand it, and so that's where design comes in, and we need to host it too.
Yeah, I tagged Rex, and because I've worked with him a lot, and I think he's done a lot with the Bankless branding.
Great.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, get some designs from him, you know, and we just got to have, you know, TL Bank 2 toggle option, you know. I'm imagining kind of like left side, you know, potentially centered, and like a really simple website. Ideally pretty and cool looking.
Well, so that how?
Yep.
I don't with the
Here,
if it
well,
the
I'm gonna share my screen.
community colors and everything. I don't know that. Unless we can add the Bankless like fun options.
Yep. No. It's like, you know, say the page, right? You know, and up here you go like I could see something like, this is gonna be really bad, but you know, something like this, right? And amount. And you know, we have some like infographics over here, like bank or something, and you know, a little blurb right here.
Yeah, perhaps we can see if Perchy can do a little something for there also to make it a little to add the fun and
Sure, that's right. Lock your bank, you
Yeah.
know, or blah blah blah. And this is where, like, you know, like the writers kind of like coordinating the content between we're making a website, you know, so it's going to be like, okay, design make something pretty. Okay, writers make some content, you know, we can come up with some content too. It just needs to be really simple amount, and then there should be like you know, little, like it should be a default amount, and there should be like a toggle here and like a toggle here, or you know, you get the idea, a toggle here and a toggle here or something. They change it and it auto does it. You hit submit, MetaMask, you know, it Bing's Wallet Connect and starts to connect with MetaMask and the like. Yeah, and ideally, I think what I would really like to encourage too, and this is, I guess, an additional spec, is that we use the Wallet Connect modal, which these guys, this is a modal that like an integration modal that Mantis should know about.
Yeah, it's just there's a modal that the Governor bot uses too.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, it's like they've done a bunch of work just to make sure, like, you know, wallet connects are secure, safe, and easy, and we want to adopt that standard.
Okay.
And if you have any trouble with that or any direction or challenges or whatever, like, one, ping me, but two, James loves it. He was the one that introduced me to it, and I was like, oh, it's pretty snazzy.
Yeah.
So
we just talked about it in the Governor session.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We did.
But this is where it's like, you know, like the design crew can kind of come up with something that's just like, you know, I'm a programmer. I like boxes and squares, but maybe they've got, some prettier vision. Something that's in line with this, right? Like DAO in the corner. Oh, right. You get the idea. And like we could even take all this stuff here, add another button right here, TL Bank. I don't know, whatever. So, the,
Well, we would have all the passes on there ultimately, wouldn't we?
yes, that's right too. And so we'd have TL Bank and season pass, and there's probably a better way to lay it out. In fact,
What about like a carousel type?
I think we intentionally want to have like a place where you go to TL Bank and you do it, or like I'm imagining season pass or TL Bank, and so the season pass will probably go on the same page as TL Bank.
Or are we gonna have to have the guest pass info too?
We probably should. We probably should.
Essentially, there'd be like a guest pass, then there'd be the season pass, and then there'd be the TL Bank.
Yeah, I think that design layout sounds smart to me, because this is all related to access to the DAO. And so maybe it shouldn't be tlbank.bankless.community. Maybe it should be
Access.bank or pass.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think access is the that's what I was
Sure.
thinking too.
Yeah.
Join us.
Even better. I like that. Join us.bankless.community.
Yep.
That's the best. Now we go. Now we're talking. Great. That's great.
Yeah, welcome Bear, Tomahawk.
Oh, we lost you. Or did we lose me? Am I the issue? Can you all hear me?
No, you're good.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay. Okay. So, clarifying spec. Join us. Bankless.community. Okay, cool. Do you need anything else, Sprinkles?
It's not that I can think of at the. I mean, at the moment. Yes. How are we gonna monitor the implementation of it?
I think so. So all these work streams will be kind of in tandem. I think your job is to just manage the work streams. And so that'll be, manage, like keep an eye on, like one, give the design their spec. Two, once, and it's in stages. So design finishes their spec, then you go to Mantis and you go here, hey, could you give this build this out on joinus.bankless.community? And Mantis will start implementing. So I think first steps though are Hedgie, Collabland, and design. And then once all those things are locked in, then we go to the website and start wiring it all up. In the meantime of this, we need to talk with marketing and writers, and I think the Writers Guild will probably be really happy to write about things, TL Bank or otherwise. And I think once we get done, marketing department, we may just need to go like, hey, could we tweet some stuff about this or talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, so if we can.
Feems hit the point excellently on the forum is that we have to make sure that everybody knows about this.
Right.
So we'll probably want to. So they have a campaign manager and marketing department, and we'll want to request the setting up of an internal marketing campaign. And I always like to tell them that we'll provide the copy. So then, whether we got to work with, then coordinate with Writers Guild to get the copy or to do the copy edits on top of the copy that we create. Just the more writing we can do to hand over to their campaign manager and to the Writers Guild, the easier it'll be to get their involvement to, close that loop. But my recommendation would be to actually develop a campaign with the campaign manager instead of just pushing copy to the department to post on the DAO socials. Like, I think it would be worth them looking at how to develop the campaign over time, release the information. We're going to want to have some amphitheater sessions and stuff like that to talk about this. We're going to want a panel on a community call. We could definitely use specific articles written about this, not just, weekly roll up kind of, notice. So we got to find a buddy in the writers department or writers.
And
From the newsletter side, Hero knows about all this stuff. We're pretty much ready to go.
Great, dude.
Yeah, I imagine
we've got a buddy. It's Tomahawk.
Each of these, like, mini initiatives here could be its own roll-up feature. The week that it goes live. But yeah, general awareness, roll-up's probably the number one place, and then I actually like the idea of doing an AMA, because you could do that in one of the community calls. Just highlight it and talk about it.
Is there
create open dialogue?
Is there specific Writers Guild meetings that we should maybe hop into to kick off this?
Newsletters Thursday, so it'll be today and an hour and a half, I think, is when Sid has newsletter meetings set up. But yeah, newsletter team would be who to talk to, I think.
Okay, so
Zero already knows about it, so I mean, we know that this is coming down the pipe.
Real quick, circling back to the AMAs that you just said, I was thinking that maybe we could get some or gather some questions from the community, and maybe you use somebody from the Avia Guild to put together some like short audiograms that marketing could use also. That circulate, like answers to common questions, but in a fun way.
Yeah, I mean, we could start with the community call feature, and then whatever, like using the recording even, what comes up from that, and create like initial FAQ document,
Mm-hmm.
And that could go right on the page or connect to the page somehow so that people get more details if they need to, and they miss the actual conversation about it.
Ice Cool, have you done any recent podcasts about TL Bank?
Not recent. I have talked about it for a long time with a few different, with like Tokenomics DAO and a few others, but not super recent. I mean, I'm sure AV'd be happy. Like, I know Liquidiate, he'd probably be happy to kick up just like a short little blurb or something. We could jump on a call. I have a D&D campaign with him, so he does the weekly roll-up videos that are funny and fun.
I gotta get in the D&D campaigns. Oh my god, I keep forgetting that.
Do. Join us.
So, Crypto Sapiens has their 100th episode coming up.
Please. Happy to help.
Yeah, I think because we could talk about Tokenomics 1.0.
Would you want to? Should we do? Can we do that? Can I pitch that to them?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to. I'm happy to talk at length about tokenomics, economics. I think I would just want to make sure. I feel concerned. I've talked about it so much. I'm like, is there an hour's worth of content in Tokenomics 1.0?
There's not. I mean, there is and there's not. There's not an hour's worth of content that anybody wants to listen to. Is the
Sure.
bottom line.
No,
Yeah.
So
I think there is. I mean, and I think we have to start from the beginning because there's tons of people that really don't know a whole lot about and need reminded about the discussions, that we've previously had. There's been discussions for seasons in the forum about guest paths, about the TL bank. So
Good point, Ernest. Actually, you're absolutely right, because I think all the content, because like narrowed down to just season pass and TL bank, like that's a 15-30 minute conversation, but the larger conversation is actually really significant. So yeah, we got an hour's worth of content there for sure, at least. And I think, and I could tee up like what are tokenomics, like bring up, like do a join me on this journey through tokenomics into tokenomics 1.0 kind of conversation.
yeah,
yes,
and I think that can probably be broken into two different sections of content, like those that want to listen to the full thing and those that just want the TLDR.
That's right. And I think AV Guild may be better. Like Crypto Sapiens would be, they're kind of like they highlight interesting conversations, but Crypto or AV Guild and Liquidity It, like they'd nail a TLDR. Go here, do this, and here's a YouTube video on it with and Liquidity It does really good, funny kind of like little things.
Yeah, it does.
They're also always strapped for resources and time and ability too. So,
we should get in front of them.
Well, yeah, check in with AV Guild would obviously be first thing, and then lacking, if they don't have the resources to do it, then yeah, essentially I would go to Crypto Sapiens. And I mean, I think it's a good idea. Projects, once they separate themselves from the DAO, have a hard time of like staying integrated with the DAO. And so I think this would actually be a nice activity to bring back, integration with the DAO for a project, and then they're getting the added benefit of that media, and then they're also getting, added engagement back into the DAO.
Right.
So
that's a great point.
I see it both ways, and I think if projects can, especially when it comes to media, and maybe a Twitter space is a good space for the initial, like, hey, token holders, this is the huge discussion, because the Twitter spaces do tend to get some people that aren't active in the Discord, and then we guide them to, if you want to stay interested in this conversation, come to our Discord, come to the amphitheater. But then a Twitter space gives us a great place to, do a 101 and like a catch up on the history, and then hopefully attract some of those token holders back into the DAO, the Discord, and also get, I'm just looking at it as a campaign and a series of podcasts or AMAs or whatever.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
So what I'm aware of is that the price tag on this is probably going to go past 50K, and that's all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to personally fund it and retroactively ask for funding, because I think the Treasury Department, we've got 300K, and I think Alec, you know what? So I'm going to use the Treasury Department funds for it, like the 300K, because I think this is extremely relevant to everything we're doing. Although if we start blowing past 300K or something like that, because I think that what you're highlighting is like some fun, interesting, and important components here, which is that this can be like beyond just the technical and economic. Like we could use this as a larger initiative to, encourage some revitalization of the DAO. Just highlight like, hey, everybody, BanklessDAO we're doing Tokenomics 1.0. Like this can be kind of a fun event especially as we roll up and toward our 2-year anniversary of Bankless DAO.
Oh, I like that.
So
I'm on the transition team for next season, so hopefully we'll get that process smoothed out and start working on it ahead of time. So if that's a kind of direction we want to use, happy to.
Yeah, let's put our party hat on, like
So-
TL Bank, Tokenomics. But anyway, go ahead, Sprinkles. Back to you.
all right, I'm wondering. So 2-year anniversary is what, May
Fourth.
4th, and
Also Star Wars Day.
oh,
Oh, is that our theme for season 8?
No, I don't know. It just May the 4th be with you, and that's how I remember it year over year.
Nice. Sorry, Sprinkles.
That's okay. That just yep. So their 100th anniversary for Crypto Sapiens and the 2-year anniversary of Bankless DAO seems like something that could be celebrated together in this.
I think so. I think what is it's like it was like the first, right? It was the first, other than Bankless HQ, right? It was the first official media node outside of the DAO, just trying to figure out its own stuff on Twitter. Huge story, and history with the DAO. And then that makes it an easy focus for, what's the theme of next year? Well, let's celebrate 2 years. Who's been here 2 years? Crypto Sapiens has, and then, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna flesh this out today and how it could be integrated so that it works fluidly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, essentially, they would be doing the brunt of the media messaging, or a big share of it, and then we would be using, their messaging, either, across the DAO Twitter to announce it and all the other stuff.
High school, I see your screen. Can I send you some questions to ask him?
Yes, you sure can. Which one? The Otter Spaces guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure can.
Thank you.
This was, I was teeing up my next kind of items for thinking, and one of the things I didn't forget to sign up for. Okay, so I think just some high level reflections. One is that, and this is all appropriate. Like, this is what needs to happen for economic redesigns. Is good marketing, good communication. Because if the economics in isolation are worthless. So I think the only other component on TL Bank is, because we'll update the Collabland functionality, and me
Just
or
give up.
InfoSec could do that. Yeah. So this is a case. This is we got a marketing work stream that's kind of got some larger initiatives around it. It's cool.
Do you mind repeating for me what you just said about economics?
Economics, yeah, economics in isolation don't do anything. It's like if we put TL Bank out and nobody knows about it, it might as well not exist.
So economics in isolation is worthless. Is that?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Economics are valuable in relationship.
Yeah, I just dropped a really good video about branding in the chat, by the way.
Great. Yeah, and that's I think gonna lean on you, Ernest, on for thoughts and ideas around branding, because I think that's you know, I think these ideas are great. And so I think the thing that I just want to highlight is that this may extend the scope of some of what we're doing on, which is totally okay. And so I think the biggest thing is, sprinkles, please do keep an eye on like time. I want to make sure everybody's compensated fairly and well and feels good about it. So, we've currently budgeted 50K for it, but I think this is important enough that, worry about it. Like if somebody's like not going to do work and they want 10K bank or something like that, no. But, this is going to go past 50K bank. Nearly 100%.
Yep, I'll get my hand on it.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. Circling back. Is there anything else you need? That marketing work stream just got big.
Mm-hmm. So not at the moment. I'm going to take the day and fully flesh it out with a budget also. And start aligning people.
It's great. If you need anything, let me know. What I can do is I'll kick up a lettuce meet for Hedgie for us to meet early next week too, just to help you with that side of things.
Okay.
Because I'm the technical lead on this whole thing. If that's all right with you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool. That's it. All right, TL Bank on the fucking move. Damn, rock and roll. Okay, on to season pass. Ernest, you are the lead on this one. And I have not thought about it at all. I've got, oh no. I think, let me look at, go ahead.
Just to say, on the Tokenomics 1.0 work stream, just as soon as you're ready to hand off the docs, there's a season pass page, and they can be dropped in there, and then I can pick it up.
Okay, perfect. Because I think probably about as we get moving on TL Bank, like midway through, it's like we got a marketing campaign fleshed out. Like we start kind of talking about all these things. Like we're gonna want to pick up the season pass, and I agreed with your sentiment around like this isn't a proposal. These are temp checks. Like let's just lock in the temp checks. I think the season pass is going to be pretty easy. And I think what I would prefer to do personally is to issue a BDIP that encompasses both season pass and TL Bank.
And guest
and I'd like to do it once.
Yeah.
One BDIP and do the full revision. But if we got it, we can split it out.
No, I think we can do it all at one.
Me too, and I hope so. Yeah, I think we can too. Let's be optimistic about it. I think we can too. And so we just do a full revision of the levels. Because we'll need to eliminate level 3. Unless you got TL Bank.
It would be a roll gated on whether or not you have the L1 roll. Mm-hmm. And so it can still be, you don't get any added permissions. So you actually have less permissions as a L3 or L4 as a L2.
Okay. And so, I dig that direction.
Yeah, I mean the essential thing is that that Discord role tag would just be gated again based on whether or not you have a season pass or the TL Bank pass.
Yeah, right. And I dig that as a direction because like so I actually want to do away with L3 and L4, but I think that's a discussion for another day. I think we should go for the minimum viable change. That still locks in the needs we have here. And so it's like basically like the component of L1 is now season pass or TL Bank, and that's a prerequisite for everything above that, two through 4. And then we can have another conversation about level 3 and level 4 at another date, which I think needs to happen too.
Well, and then the update can just categorize them as social Discord level permissions. And so we can begin to like parse it out. And then if we like, then it's like, okay, it doesn't even need to be in the Constitution because it's just a social channel and Ops manages the Discord channels. So then we can just handbook it, basically pass it off to. And yeah, and in the governance work stream, we're getting ready to change the format or suggest the change of the format so that it's actually like a constitution. I can share a link to the doc that we're working on again in Treasury for folks to look at. And so we're essentially, our plan is to update the format pronto, push out any changes that affect people's budgeting before they need it for budgets. So these passes aren't needed for budgets. So then by the end of the season, then we hope to publish, a big BDEP that updates what I call the minor items, which are just things in the Constitution that people want changed or updated, but that don't reflect budgeting. If you need the information for budgeting, we want to get that change out. Yeah. And then we're hoping that the passes, the membership section is all ready by the end of that minor BDIP. If not, then we just, it's like first thing starting next season, but that's the timeline, right? That seems to make sense, is let's try to get this done before the end of the season. At least get a clear understanding of where we're at right now. And then, and then we're bringing, we talked to Bear. And so the other part of this for the governance work stream, the last thing is just understanding the pull requests. So I'm still getting messages from people that have submitted pull requests saying that it hasn't been updated, but then I got Bear saying yesterday that he did all the pull requests and that the Constitution should be updated, and I'm not sure that it is. So
it is. There's no pull requests on the. I'll have to create a loom to help people out with this, because if we've got.
So like the BDIP 7 should be submitted, pulled, and the Constitution should be updated with the information about 4 seasons. And I don't know that it is.
Oh no, it's not. It's so we need to generate a larger awareness raise. But so this was pulled yesterday. That's it hasn't been looked at yet.
Okay, this is our main.
He submitted it yesterday.
Yeah, this is the main process blocker that we want figured out. One, so that we can get the format change, but then as soon as we all get educated on this process, then we can start planning how to manage doing that.
Yep.
Then a couple of us can hopefully make that time, and then we can definitely watch the loom and then follow up with any questions. We can also, I don't know if the Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which would be like 6 p.m. UTC. No, is that Mondays? So Mondays is our prioritization meeting. And if you could do an education session during that time, that would be super helpful. Otherwise, we can just schedule a Loom and whatever fits your schedule.
Yeah.
But it is high
What time
priority.
on Monday?
10
Yeah, it sure is.
6 p.m. UTC, 10 a.m. Pacific.
Okay, so I think that's 12 p.m. Eastern.
1.
1. Yeah, okay.
3 hours.
That may work. I'm gonna have to check my schedule, but I need to review this PR. What I'll do is I'll do a Loom of my review of it. I don't know that. So this includes BDIP-N, and I might have to nuke that. That hasn't met quorum.
Beat up 7?
BDIP-7 did, but he did a PR for BDIP-N in it, and also the version. There's a version mismatch in 1.1 into 2.2. This should be version 1.2. But I'm gonna have to dig into this. This is what I'm gonna have to look at this in detail to make sure this is super accurate. So anyway, we're digressing. Yeah. So back to Season Pass. I think the only thing OtterSpace was really keen. Have you worked with OtterSpace at all, Ernest? I've seen their stuff as okay. Unlock seems to have better infrastructure, but OtterSpace wants to do the subscription thing too.
Yeah, I haven't seen like the back end stuff. The only thing I'm concerned about with OtterSpace is each NFT isn't like its own contract. It's all just one contract with different token IDs. And so what I've ran into in other applications is it becomes more difficult to do things based off of, like, if you got different, it's like D-Work. All D-Work tasks are the same smart contract. They all look,
Right.
under the hood, they all look like the same NFT. So you can't really, unless you do something to pull the token ID, which is like what ThriveCoin does.
Right. Yeah. No, it's I mean, and we could, but it looks very beta to me versus Unlock seems more mature. And I think we can change our season pass stuff in the future, and we may there may be more functionality, but OtterSpace it still looks a little bit raw to me.
And
it looks cool, and it would also mean like an adoption of, optimism, because it would be, Unlock is on all chains, and OtterSpace is still kind of cooking in the.
And when it comes,
they're still in the oven.
Yeah, when it comes to utility, the Unlock is definitely has.
Like even now, I'm trying to sign in here, and it's like, all right, what's going on here, guys?
Yeah, and Unlock has more utility right now.
Sticking with Unlock, but I'm chatting with OtterSpace just to see like more details on their infrastructure and what they got going on. Okay. I actually think that's it for now. Like I've got some work I think on the season pass stuff just to kind of like refine this a little bit more. And I think and I'll generate a Loom here in about an hour to 2 hours. Ernest, and then I'll.
Oh, that's what I thought. His internet was going.
My freaking internet. It was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're almost back.
All right, can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm gonna go throw a brick at my router. Okay, so what I was saying though is so there's a little bit more refinement on the season pass. I need to look at OtterSpace and check the guts on this. I think that there's. It still seems like it's in the oven. It's not ready yet.
And so, are you? Mic check. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so the Would the season pass? Are you saying the season pass would be an unlock protocol pass?
Yeah, that's right. Like
Yeah.
Unlock just has the full suite we need. Like Unlock seems like a mature platform, mature structure, as mature as it can be in the crypto space. Like it's still rough around the edges, but their smart contracts are good. They're robust. They're functional. Otter Space still seems like it's. I gotta dig deeper, but it seems like they're doing cool stuff, but it's still raw. Like this cow's still mooing a little bit. Um,
Yep.
so and I think it's just an acknowledgement is that like we can in the future we can change our season pass infrastructure, but there's a few things there, and I think in terms of TL Bank and season pass, like we probably want to, in terms of the marketing campaign, like we probably want those two things to coincide and like a larger to be about tokenomics. But anyway, I'll leave that as you start digging on it to you, Sprinkles. And
And we want the guest pass to probably be unlocked pass too then. And I can talk to their education guild and see if we can turn this into an education. If they'd be interested in helping turn it into an education course as well, and then that could kind of help. Inviting them to our spaces, for questions and stuff to help get an understanding of unlock protocol.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I think that because I guess like that's what we'll want is guest passes that you get 2 renewals and then you're out. And
Yeah.
so we'll want like we'll
Well,
probably need an NFT for that.
so we'll
just
have
an FYI.
4-month seasons, so we have to relook at how that are we. It seemed like everybody
That's
was
right.
in agreement that you want a guest pass for a whole season, so that would be 4 months. Do we still do 2-week guest passes, or are they now like 1-month guest passes?
Yeah, let me look real quick.
I think a 1-month guest
Here,
pass. Go ahead, Bear.
I
Sorry.
guess Collabland Collabland already has this set up as mini apps where you can issue guest passes and limit how many times someone can renew it. So it's already there in Collabland.
Oh,
And
great.
is that renew that role tag, or can it actually check the NFT? Because what
Both.
people
You can.
because people will have and hold a guest pass NFT.
So yeah, if this is on a traditional NFT kind of community sense, where if you don't have the access pass, then you will get a
Which I can yeah, because that's the other thing is that I'm assuming the bot garage is still going, and so is the bot garage the best place to like essentially test out and make sure the Discord rules work? And
Yes, and if you have any trouble with that, let me know, and I'll spin up a Discord, and we can start doing implementations. But the bot garage has a base kind of structure in there, and I'm sure Nonsense would be super keen to help out.
do we want a a dummy Discord to just demonstrate to people like, oh, hey, here, go check this out, go get this pass, come into the Discord? Do like we want them to experience that and how it works?
I think that's
I mean, I think it's an easy thing to do because, but it's like I'm just curious if people need that experience or if that experience might be a little too much for folks.
So I'm not the target audience, so I'm not, I think that it sounds interesting. I would go in there and test out. Yeah, maybe honestly, Ernest, like if we had a test bed, a BanklessDAO test bed Discord, what I would say is like, don't spend a crazy amount of time on it, but if that's quick and easy to set up a similar structure to BanklessDAO, where InfoSec may even be interested in that, where they can go blow stuff up. So
Well,
not
I mean,
the worst of ideas, honestly.
well, like usually, like the bot garage wouldn't mind like a small team coming in to like blow stuff up. But when we're saying, hey, any Discord member, come try this out, I don't think we want those people to all be in the bot garage, right? So
I
that's the,
agree with you. Yeah.
you know, given that assumption, then that would make the next step would be set it up. You know, we can make sure it works in the bot garage, spin up a Discord that's literally just, hey, this is what it's like being a guest passer. This is what it's like being TL Bank. This is, you know, and would we be setting up these passes on a test net prior to deploying them on a main net? I know that
Absolutely.
Hedge is on, so that would, again, we could use those test net tokens for the Discord, you know, because we could say, hey, Colab, go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to track down our testnet bank token
Oh,
and get
please.
just
And Gorley,
Yeah.
sorry if this is off topic. I got to bounce. Gorley, minting Gorley testnet tokens seems to be down. They're transitioning to the Holly next week. So I don't know what kind of impact that has on doing things on the testnet, right?
Oh my god. Yeah, I think
I'm just now learning.
You mean Sepalia?
Well, I mean, if we can mint BanklessDAO testnet tokens,
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's I can take the contract and I can mint it over there and I could spin up I don't have 100 trillion and just pass it to whoever wants any.
Nice. I got to see if you can put those bank tokens into the education department juice box campaign so that we can, because
That's
okay,
lots of fun stuff. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. We're gonna have to talk about all this later. Sprinkles, if you need anything else, let me know. Okay, we're jamming now, everybody.